women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
Karoline Leavitt just humiliated Whoopi Goldberg on live TV, and the internet can't stop talking about it. Whoopi, known for her bold and often controversial takes on The View, found herself facing a fiery clapback from Leavitt, a political newcomer. Was Whoopi caught off guard, or is this a sign of changing tides in daytime TV debates? Whoopi Goldberg has long been a staple on The View, sitting at the center of the table with a sense of undeniable authority. Her interactions with guests are often marked by quick comebacks, condescending remarks, and an unwavering confidence that typically goes unchallenged. But when Karoline Leavitt stepped into the hot seat, the dynamics of the show shifted dramatically. The episode started off just like any other. The same smug smiles, eye rolls, and predictable left-leaning dialogue that The View is known for. Whoopi, in her usual commanding position, took charge of the conversation, until it turned to the topic of wokeness, a term that The View panelists practically worship, as it aligns perfectly with their progressive agenda.
Are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump.
Whoopi, confident as ever, wasted no time in taking her shot. She looked straight at Karoline and boldly stated, "Without wokeness, you wouldn't even have this job." In that single sentence, Whoopi tried to dismiss everything Karoline had worked for, reducing her career to just a byproduct of a political ideology. The air in the room instantly changed. The audience grew tense. Even Joy Behar, who is known for poking fun at conservatives, seemed caught off guard. You could almost feel the collective gasp of surprise as Whoopi threw down the gauntlet. But Karoline wasn't intimidated. She didn't back down. Instead, she delivered something nobody expected. Her response to Whoopi Goldberg was a masterclass in composure and conviction. Instead of getting caught up in the heated emotions of the moment, Karoline stood her ground with a calm confidence that immediately shifted the dynamic of the conversation. As Whoopi launched into her usual critiques, Karoline didn't flinch. She simply smiled and began methodically addressing each point with hard-hitting facts.
Today for The View to go next, when you've got hosts like Whoopi Goldberg spitting when she's speaking about Donald Trump. Look at this.
Now, you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean...
He rambles.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
But can I mention one thing? Because
that's on the ABC, of course, but what a class act. I mean, spitting, speaking about Donald Trump, you can't make this stuff up.
"I'm not here to argue ideology, Whoopi," Karoline said, her tone measured yet firm. "I'm here to talk about accountability, something that's often missing when you look at how taxpayer dollars are being used to fund woke initiatives and overseas gender studies programs. This isn't about politics, it's about responsible spending." With each point, Karoline dismantled Whoopi's arguments with evidence that was hard to refute. Whoopi, who had once dominated with her confident, often unchallenged opinions, was left visibly rattled as Karoline's facts came at her from every angle. The room, once filled with the usual banter, became noticeably tense. Karoline had not only humiliated Whoopi with her factual precision, but she also proved that calm, reasoned responses can often be the most powerful weapon in a debate. Karoline didn't just talk about woke culture in the abstract. She backed up every point with concrete examples that were impossible to dismiss. She discussed the staggering amounts of money being poured into programs that many Americans viewed as unnecessary, like government-funded gender studies in Guatemala and adaptations of children's shows like Sesame Street designed to export American social activism to other nations. It wasn't just a political discussion. It was a spotlight on how wokeness had shifted from a cultural movement into a tool for political control. Karoline made it clear that this wasn't just about social justice. It was about silencing opposing views and punishing those who didn't fall in line with the agenda. Whoopi Goldberg, usually known for her quick wit and ability to shut down any opposition, was left stunned and speechless. The moment Karoline Leavitt hit her with facts that couldn't be dismissed, Whoopi faltered. For the first time in years, the powerhouse host of The View was at a loss for words. She paused, clearly trying to regain her composure, but the weight of the situation seemed to have caught her off guard. I just, Whoopi stammered, before trailing off into an uncomfortable silence. She glanced around the studio as if searching for a way to recover, but the usual sharp retorts that were her trademark were nowhere to be found. The audience, who had been used to Whoopi's dominant presence, sat in an uneasy silence. No applause, no laughter. Just a tense, uncomfortable stillness. Whoopi, who had spent years bulldozing through debates, had met her match, and for the first time, she was completely disarmed. If you thought Whoopi would quickly recover with a biting comeback, or an attempt to steer the conversation back in her favor, you were wrong. Whoopi was visibly struggling, shifting in her chair, grasping for a retort that just wouldn't come. It was clear to everyone watching that she had no comeback. As the seconds stretched into what felt like an eternity, the audience grew more and more uncomfortable. Even the View producers, who are always ready with a camera cut to smooth things over, hesitated. Should they cut to commercial? Should they zoom in on Whoopi's stunned face? The awkward silence was deafening. And it wasn't just the audience feeling the unease. The camera crew, usually quick to capture the next soundbite, seemed unsure whether to highlight Whoopi's defeated expression or avoid the moment entirely. In that moment, it was clear. Whoopi had no way out. As the silence lingered, Joy Behar, sensing the awkwardness, quickly attempted to lighten the mood. With a nervous chuckle, she interjected, "Well, that's one way to start a conversation, huh?" But her attempt at humor fell flat. The audience remained quiet, unsure of how to react, while Whoopi still struggled to regain her composure. Joy, known for her quick wit, wasn't able to smooth things over this time. Her attempt to salvage the moment was overshadowed by the palpable tension in the air. It became clear that Karoline Leavitt's calm, fact-based response had left Whoopi and her co-host reeling. No amount of humor could erase the impact of what had just unfolded on live television. In the past, she had made headlines for tone-deaf comments, including some that offended various communities, including her infamous comments about the Holocaust. She had also stirred up trouble with her defense of questionable public figures. But this moment, this particular clash with Karoline Leavitt, was different. For once, Whoopi couldn't hide behind her usual snarky remarks or dismissive attitude. She was forced to confront the uncomfortable truth that her ideologies weren't as unassailable as she believed them to be. The consequences were swift. Social media exploded with memes, reaction clips, and endless commentary. Within moments of the showdown, the internet was ablaze. Fans, critics, and casual viewers took to social media to discuss the explosive moment. Memes featuring Whoopi's stunned expression flooded Twitter and Instagram, while reaction videos popped up on YouTube. People couldn't get enough of Karoline's calm and collected approach to standing her ground. Fans were quick to react, flooding social media with their thoughts. One Twitter user wrote, "Karoline Leavitt just gave Whoopi a masterclass in calm, facts over emotions. Epic clapback." Another commented, "Whoopi's face said it all. She wasn't ready for Karoline's level of reasoning. This is how debates should be." On Instagram, memes of Whoopi's stunned expression went viral, with users captioning them, "When you mess with the wrong person." The reactions weren't just limited to viewers. Celebrities and public figures quickly jumped into the conversation. Many praised Karoline for her poised, fact-based rebuttal, calling it a breath of fresh air in a world where discussions often devolve into personal attacks rather than constructive dialogue. This wasn't the first time Whoopi had made headlines for the wrong reasons. From her attacks on Carrie Underwood to the recent defamation lawsuits from Elon Musk and Karoline Leavitt, Whoopi's track record of stirring up controversy has made The View the center of ongoing. These lawsuits, piled one on top of the other, have put ABC in a tight spot, as advertisers have begun to pull back from the show, concerned about its toxic reputation. In the end, this confrontation marked a major turning point. For the first time in years, Whoopi Goldberg was forced to face the consequences of her unchecked commentary. Karoline Leavitt's epic clapback didn't just humiliate Whoopi, it also exposed a larger issue with the culture of The View and the way its hosts have treated conservative viewpoints. So, what do you think? Did Karoline Leavitt's epic comeback truly change the game for The View? Or is Whoopi's dominance in daytime TV untouchable? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's hear your take on this explosive moment. And don't forget to subscribe for more juicy updates on the latest celebrity drama and hot topics.